Ultimate Duck Boat LITE package. Everything you see is in the package. This is 1860. There's your custom 8-switch panel with the labels. Rooster tails. That's it, guys. Okay, so we're starting to hook up the Ultimate Marine switch panel. What we have is we have a center console, and this is on a tracker, 20-foot GRIZZLY. We're going to install the switch panel up here. We're installing the control box back here where all our accessories are going to hook to. So we're running the single wire that's going to control our switch panel. We've hooked it to a fish tape right here, and we're going to slowly run it and feed it up to the console. Right here on this boat, they have a chute that we can slide it to, and it's going to feed it up to the console, and that's going to give us the power we need for our switch panel and to be able to control our control box in the rear. Super easy, one wire installation to control 8 switches. We got it ran to up under our console. We're going to slowly pull the wire out, and that's going to plug in to the back of our switch panel on our dash, and we'll show you that next. One wire to the console, and that's it. Really simple, not having to run 8 separate power wires and ground wires to our switch panel from front to rear. One wire, and that's it. We got our dash. What we're going to do is we found a good spot right here in between. We've got it cleaned off. We're going to mark where our wire goes through. Make sure nothing is behind it where that wire before we drill. We don't want to drill through any wires or anything. We've checked. That's a good spot. We'll drill the wire, clean it off real good, take the 3M tape on the back of it, peel it and stick it, and then we'll be good to go. We'll have our custom switch panel control right here on our dash. So we pulled our wire that we ran from our transom that's coming from our control panel. We're gonna connect the two together with the waterproof connection, and then twist it, and that'll lock it on there. And then we will run it back through the dash. And then we're ready to stick our switch panel down. That simple. Alright, so we got our bracket that's going to mount our control box. We find a location in the back right here by the transom. This is where we ran our wire from the back to the switch panel. This control panel is going to have to connect to our battery, so we have our battery right there. He's going to mark the holes. We're going to mount the rigid bracket system, and then mount our control box right here onto our bracket, and then we'll be ready to start running wires. So we got our bracket mounted. We're going to test fit our control box. It looks good. Now next to the right of that, we're going to mount our breaker. This system comes with a 100 amp breaker. So we got our 2 supplied power wires that come with it. You got a short one. You want to hook your short one to the top of the breaker. You're going to screw that down. There is a right way to put it on. You have to put it on to where it makes contact on the bottom, and then the nut can fit on. If you flip it over, it won't make contact very well. So that's the correct way to do it right there. Go connect the short one to the top of the breaker box. It needs to come straight out the top because it's got a cover that's going to slide on this afterwards. We're going to screw that down, keeping it straight out the top. It is cast, so you don't want to get it too tight, but pretty snug because it's got 100 amps will go through it. And then we'll connect the bottom one. And so there's a longer power wire. You want the small terminal, ring terminal end to go onto the breaker. It has a larger terminal on the other end that's going to go to the battery. That needs to come straight out the bottom. Tighten it down. And then we're going to feed that short wire, not the long wire, the short red wire, we're going to feed up through, put your caps on, we're going to feed that up through the switch box, and then that's going to go and screw down. I would go ahead and screw it down to the switch panel. That way we know exactly how much wire we're dealing with. We're going to tighten the screw. Now it's labeled red, so you know which one it connects to. We're going to tighten it down. It needs to come straight out. Make sure that you got good contact of metal all the way around. And then we'll be able to line that exactly where we want it, the breaker, and we're going to screw it down too. It goes on a certain way. It clips on, keeps it all protected to keep you from grounding anything out. That's it. You can see how it's ran. We got our positive feeding out of our breaker. Now our other wires go connect to the positive on our battery right here. We'll go run our negative up through. It doesn't go through anything but just straight to the battery. Make sure you put it on the right way to where it makes the best contact. Screw it down. Make sure the copper plate, and that's your power supply that comes in. Next, we're going to take we've got our wire that's coming from our switch panel we installed on our dash. We ran it back here to the transom. That plugs right in to that connector. And that's going to connect the control panel to the switch panel. Next, we have power consumption wire. You can control the brightness if you need to. Also, you can have a switch that will eliminate the whole switch control box from operating. We're jumping it over to the positive so the switch panel can always operate. There might be a time, so we're going to put that on top of our red terminal. That way it always is able to function. If for some reason you wanted to cut main power, you could put a switch on this wire, or we could provide it for you if you wanted it this way. But if not, it'll come with the jumper, and this will get constant. So that's pretty much it. Now our whole switch panel system is set up, short of connecting to our battery terminals. Control box mounted. We got our breaker supplied. Everything's hooked up. We'll start running accessories. They'll feed in from underneath and plug right in. Put our positive on there. Our negative on there. That's going to power up everything. And we'll go start laying all our wires in place. Switch, control box. All the wires, we have our boat light that came with their Ultimate Duck boat package, our rooster tails, our interior LEDs, our snake tubes, our exterior snake tubes, and our nav lights. We're going to show you how all these are hooked up. You can see across the panel system we have different amperages labeled. What we're going to do is our highest amp, which is 30 down here on this end, we're going to install or connect the wire that we ran supplied from our Gen 2 back here to the 30 amp. All you do is loosen screws on the top, put your positive and negative in there as they are labeled on there, and tighten it down. We'll go through all of them doing our interior, exterior. In the location is also going to tell you what switch it is. It tells you in the manual. So on your dash, as you operate each of these locations here, will tell you exactly which one's which. Wire, put it in that location. This is for our rooster tails we're going to do right there. Then you tighten your screw down. It's that simple. Then you take your positive, run it in. You're done. Pull on them, make sure they're not going to come out. So we have all our wires installed, all our accessories in our switch panel. We still have room for 4 more locations on the switch. So you've got plenty to add, bilge pump, and whatever you might want to. But we're gonna put our cover on. We got all our wires ran underneath nice and neat. Cover's gonna snap on. You got any fuses that blow or anything, you just lift it up. It'll be illuminated which area, which fuse you need to place. It tells you. Basically take your snake tube and you're going to fold it down. Once you get it where you want it, we like to take a Sharpie and take that Sharpie and mark it right where you want to drill the hole for your wire to go through your transom. Also on the back side, you want to make sure you're not going to hit anything, everything's out of the way. So right here we're going to drop it below this material, that way it'll look prettier coming out. We're going to go ahead and drill that for the wire. Okay, next, once you get your center hole, we're going to put some silicone behind it, and then we're going to fold it up. But we got the silicone in the hole. We're going to close it up. Then we're going to pre-drill. These transoms are typically thick with aluminum, so you want to pre-drill that hole for that screw just to keep from busting it off in there. So we got it pre-drilled. We're going to screw the screws in, the self-tapping or self-drilling. Go ease them in. We're not going to tighten them all the way up now. We're just going to kind of get it in there. And then we're going to put the other side in. These are stainless steel self-drilling screws we supply. We're going to get them both in there. Now one thing you want to watch is these transoms sometimes are curved. You want to make sure you don't compromise this housing and bend it around a piece of metal. So what you want to do is just get it snug to where you're not bending that housing. Okay, what we're going to do next with the Ultimate Duck Boat package, it's going to come with 4 16-foot pairs of snake tubes. So what we're doing here is getting the surface prepared. We've already went down the side and sanded all the rough edges, and we're cleaning it off. We use 50% alcohol and water mixture, half and half, and we're wiping it down till nothing's left on the towel. Do not use acetone, do not use paint thinner, do not use Armor All. Use exactly what our instructions say. So make sure you follow our instructions. Towel's clean. We're going to start adhering these. We already have a video that will show you specific instructions step by step on installing these, so we're not going to waste much time, but we're going to install these both sides. outside on both sides, port and starboard, and interior, port and starboard. This is a Tracker 1860. So we're doing the snake tubes and wiring them into the ultimate switch panel system that comes with the ultimate duck boat LITE package. Ran the wire through to the inside, drilled a hole real easy on this tracker. Got all the way to the front. Had extra snake tubes for the interiors, so we used the extra back here in this hatch. We adhered it right here and then ran it right here to our switch system. We have another set we possibly might put in the hatch or let the customer do it, but we have extra from the interior cut off on both sides. So a lot of use. We got both full insides completed and both exteriors completed with extra to spare. That's with the ultimate duck boat package. We got a rivet crush nuts installed on the front of this Tracker GRIZZLY 1860. We got all 4 of them. We're able to fit. That's on this Gen 2. We're going to put it up there and tighten down the security bolts. Install your provided security bolts. This is all with the ultimate duck boat LITE package. Comes with everything you need. Take your security head we provide with the kit, tighten it down. Then you don't have to worry about this light coming off. With the security bolts, you don't have to worry about somebody coming and taking the light off your boat. Fits real nice on this tracker.